chapter 45, begin reading at verse 1. We're going to read today and we won't take too long. Is that all right? Now pay attention to the wisdom of the words. Genesis chapter 45, and begin reading to you from verse 1. Now, you know the story that how Joseph was the last son of his father Jacob, but they sold him down into Egypt land. His brothers hated him and they sold him. They sold him into Egypt land. But when he got down there, they sold him into one Potiphar's house. Got down there and Potiphar's wife relied on him because she wanted to do something and he didn't want to do it. She falsely accused him and got him put on death row because rape was a capital crime, punishable by death. But when he got in there, God gave him favor and he began to prophesy because he knew something that other folks didn't know. And so he was able to keep his spirit right through all of his trials. And God brought him out of the dungeon and brought him in the presence of Pharaoh, and he interpreted the dream. And Pharaoh put him really in actuality first in command, but in the eyes of the people, as is written, he said, "You're second." But did nothing happen, did nothing move without Joseph's consent. And there arose a famine in the land. And Jacob didn't know that even Joseph was alive. He thought he was dead. He thought a wild beast had ate him up. But he sent his brothers down there to Egypt land because he heard that they had food down there. He sent them down, his brothers down there to buy food. And when he got down there the first time, Joseph, see, sometimes you can go through a trial, but see, when people got an attitude, they stay the same. But when your spirit is right, you change. They didn't know him, but he knew them. And so the first time he, little things he did, and he kept his little brother Benjamin. But finally they came back and he just couldn't take it no longer. And he had to make himself known to the folks that once hated him, to the folks that once despised him, to the folks that once wanted to kill him. And so this particular time, he took it as long as he could. They sold him, could have died. They wanted to kill him, but they sold him to an Ishmaelite. Genesis 45:1. Then Joseph could not restrain himself before all of them that stood by him. And he cried, "Cause every man to go out from me," and there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren. And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians in the house of Pharaoh heard. And watch this, I want you to pay attention. And Joseph said unto his brethren, "I am Joseph. Doth my father yet live?" I am Joseph. I want you to know who I am. I want you to know that I'm connected to you. Does my father Jacob yet live? And he says, and his brothers could not answer him, for they were troubled at his what? Now you know you done this man wrong. You know that you way out of line. But now this same man you done wrong is in a position to really cause you harm. That this same man that you wanted to kill, that you literally just put in a bad position, that nobody even knew where the man was. He was in a position, nobody knew where he was. He was on death row. He had no family support because they thought he was dead, and all of this stuff, all of the things that he encountered. So they saw him now. This man is not just a butler now. This man is second in command. When we was in school, we studied history, and one of the history lessons that we studied was about Egypt and about the pharaohs, and they were some of the most intelligent people on the face of this earth. And Pharaoh was one of the most powerful men that ever lived. Y'all read it. Just some of y'all studied history. But he didn't come in being a butler or a papa or a jester or nothing. But he come in being the vice president. or the vice king, if you want to say. So his brothers, when they saw him, they were troubled at his presence. Put all these phones up if you can. And they were troubled at his presence. And Joseph said unto his brethren, come near to me. Come close. Now can you imagine that they thinking all of the stuff that they did to this man? And he said, now, come close to me. He said, come near to me, I pray you. And they came near, and he said one more time, I am Joseph. But this time I'm going to put a little bit, last time I said I'm Joseph, that's my father lived. But this time I want to really, really recollect your memory. I really want to recollect your memory. I want you to remember something. I am Joseph, your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. I want you to know that I know who you are, and I know what you did. I know who you are, and I know what you did. And Joseph said unto his brother, y'all listen to me? He said, now, therefore be not what? Now, and you sold me into Egypt land, but you did this to me. You have to listen to the wisdom. You sold me into Egypt, but now let's say now. Now, this is one of the things you get. This is going to be the key thing to your life. This is the key thing to your life. Look at somebody and say now. Not then. He said, now, therefore, be not grieved. Wait a minute, no. They should be telling you, Joseph, man, don't be upset, man. Come on, Joe. Come on, man, please, man. Man, Joe, man, please don't be angry, man. They should be pleading with him. But he didn't say, you get over here, come over here. He said, I pray you. In other words, I pray you with the gentleness, with the entreaty. Come near me, I pray you. With the sweetness, with the gentleness. Come. He said, now therefore, be not grieved nor angry with yourselves. Look at somebody say, this is crazy. I could have lost my life. I could have been messed up. But you should be telling me, Brother Beavers, don't be grieved, Brother McCoy. Don't be angry, Brother McCoy. But I'm telling you, don't be grieved nor angry with yourself. Look at somebody say, with yourself. That you sold me here. Two key words right here that's going to sum it up. The first word is now. And the next word is for God did send me before you to preserve life. Look at somebody saying, he sent me ahead of you so I can save you. To preserve is like to reserve. Preserve is like reserve. In other words, when something is preserved, it's already taken care of before you get there. Reserve is the same thing. If you go in the club or somewhere, a restaurant, and the table has been reserved, that means you can't get there because somebody's already there before you get there, even though they're not there. And the most people that are reserved is already preserved. Do you understand? So God come and sent me to preserve so I could reserve. He said, but God sent me before you to preserve life. For these 2 years have there been famine in the land, and yet there are 5 years, in the which there shall be neither earing nor harvest. 7th verse again, and God sent me before you to what? Second time, I want you to get this, understand, preserve, not to just preserve your life, but preserve a posterity to keep your seed alive. Because, see, he made a promise that he was going to bless the seed, so he can't let the seed die. He said to preserve the posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by what? Great deliverance. So the 8th verse is the sum verse. It's the totality. This is the totality of this scripture. He started off saying, so now it wasn't you. It was God. They sent me before you to preserve your lives. That I may preserve a posterity in the earth. But when he gets down to that 8th verse, he said, so now. When somebody says, so now. So it's not just now, but it's a little so on it. You know, you look so pretty. You smell so sweet. You don't hear me preach on this before, but it's got a little twist to it this time. You know, your hair looks so lovely. So it ain't just now this time, it's so now. So now, I can't be thinking about what you've done. Because if I go to tripping and thinking about what you've done to me, I'm going to miss the so now. See, there's a lot of people never get to their so now because they get stuck in the then, knowing that the then is getting them ready for the so now. He said, so now, it was not you that sent me hither. You mean to tell me I've been married all this time with the wrong person? You mean to tell me I've been bitter, upset, unforgiving with the wrong person? All of this time that I've been carrying this thing around and this bitterness and resentment and this hatred for this person. But all along, it was never the person. So now, it was not you that sent me hither, but God. And he hath made me a father to Pharaoh, and Lord over a piece of his house, and ruler throughout some of the land. So now, if it had not been for you, I wouldn't be ruler of this man's house. I wouldn't have this authority. To the book of Luke, chapter, you ready for this? Luke chapter 23, verse 32. Yeah, anyway. Luke 23, verse 32. Let me help you in a minute. I'll be out of the way. Bear with me just a second. And you know what? I feel like preaching. Luke chapter 23, verse 32. He said that there were also 2 other malefactors. Now Jesus was on the cross at this particular time. And he'd been beat beyond recognition. His Bible says this was more marred than any man. Are y'all listening to me? And the Bible said these words, pay attention to the words. He was on the cross and there were 2 other malefactors. Led with him to be put where? To be put where? To be put to death. And when they would come to the place which is called Calvary, where they were crucified, and the malefactors, one on the right hand and the other on the left. Then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they know not. Now this is why you can't let folk go. My people are destroyed for the lack of what? You're killing yourself. You give it to damn your soul. See, I'm going to show you something. See, there's a sin that won't catch you now. It'll catch you when you stand before the judgment. See, it's a sin that you can cover up because it don't smoke, it don't drink, it ain't perverted, it's not a sin that commits adultery, it's not a sin that fornicates, it's not that kind of sin. But it's a sin it's detrimental, it's blasphemy. And what's so cold about it, it will leave you on the praise team and leave you playing and leave you preaching. It'll leave you prophesying. It'll leave you laying hands on people. It'll leave you being hospitable. It'll leave you being kind and gentle. But yet and still, at the end of the day, it'll catch you and eliminate you. Listen to me. He said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And he parted his raiment and cast lots. To the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 10. I'm almost through. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 10. Make it verse 9. He said, for to this end also I write, that I might know the proof of you, whether you be obedient in all things. To whom you forgive anything, I forgive also. Whoever you release and turn loose, whoever you release and turn loose, I'll release him also. For if I forgive anything, to whom I forgave it, look and say, for your sake, forgave I it in the person of Christ. Now, I have to forgive them. If we're together, I got to let it go. I got to let it go, because if I don't let it go, something's going to happen. You miss it. He said, if I don't let it go, if I don't forgive it, 11th verse said, lest Satan. Wait a minute, just step there. Wait a minute, I just feel it. They just hurt me, but it steps just a little deeper than what you think. You just playing with some little anger, you playing with some little resentment, but you don't understand. You don't open up a door, and it ain't demon time now. It's Satan time. This ain't no little imps. This ain't no little demons here you playing with now. You're playing with this big boy. This is it. This the one. This the Terminator. This the one's going to end the whole thing. This the one's going to end it all. This ain't no little demon of lust. This ain't no little demon of a perversion. No, this is a big one here. Lest Satan gets the advantage. Look at somebody and say he's going to get the advantage of us. For we are not ignorant of his devices. To the book of Mark 11:24. Mark 11:24. This is it. Mark 11:24. Bear with me. Mark 11:24. Please pay attention. I taught a message about endurance. I taught another message about the willing mind in Jacksonville. I was telling them, he told Solomon, I want you to serve me with a perfect heart, but then he turned around and with a willing mind. Wait a minute now. I thought a perfect heart would be good enough, you understand? But you can have a perfect heart and not a willing mind. There's some folks that got a perfect heart, but they ain't willing to do what they're supposed to do. I don't want you to just be willing. I don't want you to obey. Because see, when you can obey me and not be willing. So I want you to be willing and obedient. See, our folk just obedient. I'm just obeying, but are you willing? But the Bible said in the book of Mark 11:24, therefore I say to you, whatsoever things you desire, perfect. When you pray, believing that you receive them and you shall have them. And when you stand praying, what? Forgive if you have all against any. That your Father also, which is in heaven, may forgive you of your trespasses. But, say but, if you do not forgive, neither will your Father, which is in heaven, forgive you of your trespasses. I'm going to tell you something we do before I go down and pray. We think this ain't nothing. We play with this here like this is junk. We play with this like we can just keep these attitudes and keep these spirits and everything's just going to be peaches and cream. We just going to cross over and just everything. You got to pay attention. Some of you right now, you like this, you borderline, get ready to take your soul straight to hell because folks sitting around, they don't know who you are. They don't know how evil you are. They don't know how sinister you are. You don't understand. You do not understand. If you can't let evil go, you become a part of evil. If you've done me wrong, and I can't let you go, well, if you're a wrongdoer, if you're an evil person, I can't let you go, how long do you think that I can hold on to something dirty without getting dirty? Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, I'm asking you for a miracle today. Let these people see you and not me. Lord, give me a right spirit. Create within me a clean heart. Let me speak your word and it be seasoned with salt, full of grace, that it may minister grace to the listener. Open up the eyes of our understanding. Enlighten us into your divine wisdom. Let us see you and not me. Thank God. Amen. Now, I'm going to minister today. First of all, let me explain this to you. And I quote it all the time. The Bible said, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, right? Well, you know that how that God went on with creation. But the Bible said on the seventh day, God ended all of his works which he had made. He made the host. These are spirits. He created spirits. He created spirits. And the Bible said on the seventh day, God ended all of his works which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all of his labor and refreshed himself. Well, the Bible said that how that it was the wise man Solomon that turned around. He said that there's nothing new under the sun. What is being, and what is to be is already being. He said, whatsoever God doeth, he doeth forever. Don't add nothing to it, neither does he take anything away. But it requires those things that are past. In other words, history will repeat it. So it's just like a cycle. But Isaiah took a little step further. And Isaiah said, he can declare unto you the end from the beginning. He can show you the things that are going to happen at the end in the very beginning. This is why you have prophets. This is why you have prophetess. So all these people do is step into the foreknowledge of God and come back and let you know what's going to happen before you get there. Because it's already done. You have to understand, I know people don't believe this, but things are already pre-mapped out. It's pre-arranged. It's already done. He said, Jeremiah, before you was ever formed in your mother's belly, I knew you. Before you ever came out of a womb, I sanctified you and ordained you to be a prophet unto the nation. He had already stipulated that Rebecca, before Rebecca was setting up praying, she was just in such pain and agony till she said, oh Lord, why am I thus? Why am I like this, Lord? Why am I having so much pain? He said, Rebecca, he said, there's two manner of people in thy womb. And he said, the older shall serve the younger. And the Bible said, how before the children were ever born, before they ever knew to do good or evil, they were even born. He said, Esau have I hated, but Jacob have I loved. Y'all not listening to him. He prophesied and spoke to Abraham and said, listen, he said, I'm going to bless you with a seed. This man, and his wife was there and the womb was shut up. He said, but thou shalt, I'm going to bless you with a seed from thine own bowels, meaning you and Sarah. And he said, I'm going to multiply that seed more than the multitude of the stars in the sky, more than the multitude of the sand by the sea. And he said, in this seed shall all the nations foundations of the earth be blessed. And he told him, he said, but this seed shall be blessed. I'm going to give it a land that floweth with milk and honey. Y'all don't hear me what I'm saying. He said, but this seed shall go into bondage unto a nation that know not God. Not for 4 days, 4 months, 4 years, but for 400 years. And after which I shall raise up a deliverer that shall bring them out of the house of bondage. Women, all predestinated. You got to understand it's already a mapped out thing. You understand what I mean? There's nothing happening by accident. Everything is predestinated, foreordained before the very foundation of the world. That's why them people have such a confidence in God. Even Jesus said, lo, I come in the volume of the book as it is written to me. He has such a cool attitude and understanding that we need to get, that we need to get. We mean, we nasty, we cantankerous, we're vindictive, we're bitter. You understand what I mean? Because we don't have an understanding. The Bible said, get wisdom in all thy getting, you know what? Get an understanding. Now wait a minute. Now you signed up for this Christian army. You understand? Sign me up for this Christian Jubilee. Y'all remember? You know, just sign me up. You understand? You wanted to be a part of this, but you have to understand. When you signed up, it's not something that you've done. You think you might have done it, but you got to listen. The Bible said in the book of Ephesians chapter 1, he said, blessed be the God the Father. You understand, that have blessed us with all spiritual blessings. Where? In heavenly places. You understand? And have given us all things that pertain to the life. You understand? But the Bible said these words. He have chosen us in him when? Before the foundation of the world. Before there was a where or there, we were already chosen in the infinite mind and wisdom of God. It was Paul that wrote the church of Thessalonica. I believe it in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 7. He said, 13, he said, we are bound to give thanks always because God from the beginning have chosen us unto salvation. So it wasn't something that you jumped up and done. No, it was already done. The Bible said that God commended his love toward us in that while we were yet in sin, have God raised us. Wait a minute, while we were yet in sin, God raised us up together with Christ and made us sit together in heavenly places in Christ Jesus. It was already done before you ever came out of it. I know you don't believe this. I know. You understand? The Bible said, for as many as are led by the Spirit, they are the sons of God. We have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but the spirit of adoption whereby we cry, Abba, Father. And our spirit bears witness with his spirit that we're the children of God. And if children, then heirs of God, and joint heirs with Jesus Christ, if so be that we suffer with him. But Paul turned around and he went to talking about all of the stuff that he had went through. You understand? He'd been stoned. You understand? He'd been beat with rods 5 times, stoned, left for dead. He was in jail. Y'all don't hear me? Robbed of his own countrymen. Shipwrecked 3 times. Paul went to thinking about the hell that he'd been through, all of the stuff that he'd gone through. And Paul said, now listen, I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that shall be revealed in me. Now, he goes on down the line, and he said, now listen, y'all. He said, now you praying for stuff. God, move this one out of the way. Get this. Lord, do this. And Lord, I want you to take this. He said, now listen, you don't even know what you ought to pray for. You understand what I mean? Y'all said that man because you got folk that don't like you. God says, son, you got to understand the predestinated divine design of God. I'm going to have people that don't like you. You cannot have positive, because if you have positive, you'll never go nowhere. What makes the positive move is the negative. You understand what I'm saying? You can have a $80,000 car parked outside with a 550 cubic inch engine. You understand what I mean? With everything, 20-inch tires on it, maybe a 14-way seats in it. I'm talking about the Bose sound system, everything. But you understand, if you go out there and raise that hood up and take a black negative wire off of the battery. All of this powerful transmission, y'all don't hear me, a 9-shift transmission, everything, all of the stuff you gotta take that negative wire off of that battery. And guess what that $80,000 and $90,000 car won't do? It will not even start. You cannot get started without the negative. You'll never see the top without a bottom, an in without an outer, or right without a wrong. But I'm trying to tell you, you so busy. Listen, folk, I won't let folk like you. I'm not going to let people like you. And if you're going to come up in the church and talk about folk don't like me, you got to understand, if I take you somewhere where folk don't like you, brother, listen, you get me to heaven. These are the ones get me to take you where you need to go. Folk don't like me. And then listen, they're not going to like you, and God is not going to let them like you, because if he let them like you, then you can't go where you need to go. You understand? I chose 12 of you. Jesus, God in Christ. He said, but one of you is a devil. One of you ain't going to like me. Because the rest of y'all that like me, you ain't going to hurt me. The rest of y'all that don't like me, you ain't going to do me nothing. But I need some negativism to get me to my positivism. Do you understand? So God ain't going to let everybody like you. I don't know why they don't like me. They're not going to like you because they can't like you, because they're part of the predestinated plan of God. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't even know what you ought to pray for as you ought to. But the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us, because it knows the mind of God, and it prays according to the will of God. And this we know. Watch this. Watch them. They kill me today. But some of you right now just as sad. You don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't cuss, you don't go to clubs. You understand what I mean? You ain't a whore. You ain't a homosexual, you ain't a lesbian, you ain't a pervert. You understand what I mean? You ain't downloading porno, coming to church. I mean, I'm doing everything, tithe payer, faithful to God, but sitting around and don't know that Satan is smart enough to send your soul to hell like he did Adam and Eve. You know how they lost out with God? There wasn't adultery, there wasn't fornication, there wasn't homosexuality. They lost out with God on an emotion. It was an emotion, something that they did. They took of another knowledge, and it changed their attitude. Your attitude can keep you from going into the kingdom. The Bible said only the pure in heart are going to be able to see God. We set up in here right now with all kind of stuff in our heart. Husband and wife, bitter with one another, walking in the house. Don't say 2 words that are still meaner than a junkyard dog. But you're able to come into the house of God and shout all around the house. You're able to engage in worship. Oh, how I love him. You understand what I'm saying? Watch now. The devil is smarter than you. We're not ignorant of his devices. He'll play on you. He'll trick you. He'll let you go through the motion. But he knows that you have that one spot in your life. That one spot will eliminate you. All of the work that you've ever done. All of the years that you put in preaching, reaching, and teaching. All of the years you put in working churches, prophesying, laying hands, playing music, doing everything. All your years will go down the drain. Because of what? Because of one little spot in your life. Because something you left unattended to. You understand? It's sad when you got something in your life that you're able to cover. You so smooth with it. And folk don't even know you like that. They don't even know you're mean and bitter and nasty like that. You understand? And it's sad. See, you would want something to people so they can pray for you. But you don't learn how to cover it and just smile like it's all peaches and cream. Y'all better kill me. You think I'm preaching? You think I'm preaching from some textbook? I'm preaching from my heart. I'm going to let you know something today. You're going to have to cry like never before. We're right at the end. The ends of the world are upon us. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about this is the latter day. This is the hour. You understand that God is opening up the door. This is the time where God is letting the devil loose. And people, listen, he's looking for folks. Jesus said the prince of this world cometh, and he hath nothing in me. If the devil come to you right now, what is in you that belongs to the devil? What's in you right now that belongs to the devil? You shout, you paying the tithes. You're the first one to get a tithe in the devil. You're the first one to put your choir robe on. You're the first one. You got the men in black outfits starched to the tear. You got your pastor's aid. You're just as bright and clean as you can be. But what in the world is on the inside? Jesus looked beyond the white. And guess what he said? He said on the outside you're like white as sepulchres. But on the inside inside you're full of dead men's bones. He said, you got them for food. He said, man look on the outward appearance, but God looks upon the heart. We're preaching, prophesying. I'm preaching from my heart today. I'm trying to tell you how it works. You can get up and preach and prophesy, but this stuff be laying dormant. But you got to understand, you got to get it out. You got to get it and get rid of it. But there's a way to get rid of it. Listen to me. There's a way to get rid of people when they hurt you, when people betray you, when people forsake you, when people you done gave them the best of your best. You understand it, of abusing and misuse it. You got to understand there is a way out. I told you, you understand, to be angry and sin not, and don't let the sun go down upon your wrath. I told you that weeping may endure for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. So when I'm telling you, I give you a half a day to cry, and I give you a half a day to be angry. Wait a minute, God, these folk been dogging me for years. These folk done broke my heart. I gave them the best of my life. I gave them my loyalty, my commitment, and they dogged me. You got to understand, it's not no accident. Everything is predestinated. Everything is predestinated. If there was a divorce, it's predestinated. If there's a betrayal, it's predestinated. You got to understand, you don't know what you ought to pray for as you ought. I'm going to get ready to show you. You don't know, you don't know what you ought to pray for as you ought. But the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And after the Holy Ghost prays, this we know. This when you come into that knowledge. This when you put it in God's hand and say, God, I trust you. Though you slay me, yet will I trust you. This we know. Not some things. But wait a minute, now you're a liar. We call ourselves believers, but we're not liars. We're liars. Because look at your attitude, look at your spirit, look at the way we walk around. But if you really believe what I'm getting to preach to you today, it's getting to set you free. He said, this we know, and not some things, but all things are working together for the good to them that love God and to them who are called according to his purpose. Now wait a minute, when did he call me? Before the foundation of the world. You understand me? He said all things are working together. Wait a minute, do you believe that? Why you so nasty? Why you so vindictive? Why you trying to get folk back? You understand me? Why? You got that nasty attitude. Why you can't drop it? Why you can't let it go? You understand what I'm saying? If you believe that all things are working together for the good to them that love God and to them who are called according to his purpose, you got to understand you're on a mission. You're called according to his purpose. Here's the key right here. For whom he foreknew. Wait just a minute. He was in the world and the world was made by him, yet the world knew him not. The Bible said, listen, he came to his own and his own received him not, but to his many received him. To them gave they power to become the sons of God, not to them that were born of flesh, or them that were born of blood, or the will of men, but them that were born of God. You got to understand this. Wait a minute now. You're on a mission. You're on a destiny. You're on a destiny. You're headed. You're on a journey. It's headed to a destiny. What's this here? You understand? All things are working together for the good to them that love God and to them who are the called according to his purpose. For whom he foreknew. Wait a minute now. For whom he foreknew. He foreknew you before the foundation. He chosen you before. You understand? He chosen you before the world unto this salvation. For whom he foreknew, then he also did what? Wait a minute. I'm going to show you something. You set up here mean and nasty. You understand what I mean? Wonder why you ain't got no anointing. Sweet and bitter water can't proceed out of the same fountain. Wonder why you can't get up out of a hole for getting back in another hole. You wonder why your life is in this vicious cycle, round and round and round. Like the children of Israel said, we done come past this mountain long enough. You're frustrating yourself. You can't come out of a hole because you sat around mad and angry about something that was designed to take you to another level. Because your attitude, get wisdom and all by getting, get an understanding. Understanding gonna give you the experience. When you get the experience, you understand you're gonna have a better attitude about things. Your attitude nasty because you don't know the originator, the origin of your child. You think it's that woman, you think it's that man, you think it's that preacher, you think it's that husband, you think it's that wife, you think it's that co-worker, you think it's that supervisor, you think it's that little church member that always catch you in the parking lot. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to understand for whom he foreknew, then he also predestinated that they might be conformed into the image of his son. The purpose of everything that's happening to you is ain't no accident. I got people hating you on purpose because I got you on a journey, and the journey is to conform you into the image of his son. You got to understand, I'm trying to get a Jesus woman out of you. I'm trying to get somebody that's able to understand when they revile, that they revile not again. I'm trying to get somebody that when they suffer, they won't threaten. I'm trying to get somebody that understand that a smoking flax, they won't quench. A bruised reed, they won't break. You understand what I mean? I'm trying to get somebody whose voice is not heard in the street. I'm trying to get a Jesus woman. I'm trying to get a Jesus man. Somebody that do always the things that please the Father. I'm trying to get somebody to act like my son. You understand what I mean? To be able to go through your worst trial. When you got power to, you understand, to call 12 legions of angels and kill up everybody. You understand? But submit yourself and just submit and give place to wrath. Watch this. I'm looking for somebody that will be a Jesus man. Instead of every time you look around, you got something to say. You got a mouth to, you understand what I mean? I'm looking for somebody that know how to overcome evil with good and render good for evil. I'm looking for somebody that understand know how to love their enemy, do good to them that hate them, and pray for them that despitefully use them. I'm looking for somebody that know how to bless her and curse not. Y'all not listen to me. So you the man, and what's so sad, sometimes you mad about what happened to other folk. Well, maybe if you mad what happened to other folk, but the way you think gonna happen to you when it happens to you, you just upset about that way what happened to you. You get to die and go straight to hell because you ain't gonna be able to let it go. When you get the revelation, it ain't got nothing to do with man. The steps of a man are ordered by the Lord. Whatever man do, it wasn't no to Pharaoh. Pharaoh didn't have nothing to do with it. I'll have mercy on whom I'll have mercy. I'll have compassion on whom I'll compassion. You understand? I'll have mercy on whom I have mercy. And whom I will harden them. There's some people out of heart in your life, you won't have a chance to come to God. There's some folks you understand what I mean, that I've chosen. You understand, a four-time brother for destruction. I got vessels of honor, vessels of dishonor. I got people that ain't gonna never make it to heaven. That's why some of you come up in the house of God with your little nasty attitude, coming up here like somebody got to beg you to praise God, got to beg you to do something. But when you really realize if it had not been for the Lord, it was on your side, where in the world would you be? You got to understand that no man can come to the Father except my spirit draw him. You understand what I mean? So you didn't walk up in here on your own. You talking about when I found the Lord. Listen, you ain't found God. God wasn't lost, you was. You understand what I'm saying? So when you come up in here, He chosen you from the foundation of the door. If you're able to step foot in the door, you gotta give God glory, because you could be in a whole house, a crack house, you could be in the crazy house, you could be in a psychiatric ward, you could be in an intensive care unit with a disease that says no cure for it at all. You could be messed up, tore up from the floor, but God that spared your life. All of the hell you done went through, all of the hell you done sent folk through, should have been crazy as a Betsy Bowler, but God that allowed you to be saved, sanctified, and here you are. When to step up in the house of God with an attitude, somebody got to beg you to give God praise. But see, David messed around and caught the revelation. David messed around and backslid. And David messed around and he got the feeling for God. He said, I'm so hungry for God. He said, my soul that pant after the Lord. There's a heart that pant after water brook, so that my soul pant after thee. He said, this poor man cried, and the Lord inclined his ears unto my saying. David said, Lord, I ain't been to church. I felt so bad. But somebody walked to David's house and said, David, why don't you come to church? David said, hold it, give me a pen. And David said, I got a song I want to write. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go up into the house of the Lord. David said, when I walked up in there, he said, listen, when you enter in to his gates, enter in. Don't come in with no nasty attitude or chip on your shoulder. Brother, God can let you lose your cotton picking mind right now. You understand what I mean? You don't even know the demons that you play with. You understand? Enter into his gates with thanksgiving. Enter into his courts with a praise. You coming in here like somebody owe you something. Everybody got to bow down to you. Everybody, I'm coming in here as a debtor. I'm coming in here because I owe God. I'm coming in here because I know if it had not been for the Lord, I'd still be on drugs. If it had not been for the Lord, I'd be messed up in my mind. I'm thankful to the Lord. I'd be I'm saying? But it ain't nobody but the Lord that gave me the peace of mind, the joy divine. So when I walk up in here, ain't nobody got to beg me to praise him. All I got to do is go to thinking of the goodness of Jesus and all that he's done for me. All I got to do is, I ain't got to think about 1,000 things. There's one thing I know. If it had not been for the Lord, I guarantee you, hallelujah, pop out your mouth. I guarantee you, glory to God, will pop out your mouth. We got all these old nasty attitudes. And guess what? You think you're going to get into heaven with that nasty attitude? Like the preacher said, God then cast the devil out of heaven. And you think he's going to let the devil back in heaven inside of you? You better get delivered. You better cry out to God. You better ask God for divine deliverance today. You better go deep down inside of you today. You may not be a cigarette sucking, pipe puffing, tobacco chewing, hard chasing, freemason, whiskey nipping, cocaine sniffing, weed chopping, pill popping devil. But you done sat around and they got mad with the making of God. You done got mad with the process and development of God. You done got mad with the journey. You done got mad with the journey. And give it to forfeit your destiny. I'm trying to conform you, woman. I'm trying to conform you, man. I'm trying to turn you into a Jesus, man. But you getting better. You getting better in the process. You understand? You getting fired and trained. I'm trying to make you. I got you under pressure. You got to understand. I done made promises to you. And I done not allowed you to be tempted above that which you're able. I made promises unto you that I give to every man according to his several ability. I done made promises unto you. And many may be your affliction. But I'm going to deliver you out of it all. I done made a promise unto you that I won't let the rod of the wicked rest upon the lot of the righteous. Because I don't want you to do evil. I know what you can stand and what you can't stand. I know you're down sitting, you're uprising. You're coming in, you're going out. I know your thoughts are far off. So I'm not going to put you under pressure. But everything that I'm doing for you is part of the process. Let us tell you, and look at what God did. He raised up Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac. Isaac begot Esau and Jacob. Jacob begot the 12 patriarchs. One of them was named Joseph. Y'all don't get it born the baby. But what happened? It wasn't he didn't listen. He didn't ask what day to be born. But Solomon said, to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the sun. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to be born. Joseph didn't ask what time to be born. He was born the baby. And Jacob had a love for him, made him a coat of many colors. And his brothers was jealous of him. And not only that, to top it off, God turned around. He was the baby boy with a coat of many colors. Had favor in the eyes of his daddy. But to top it off, God put a gift on the baby. God put a gift on the baby. Could you touch your neighbor and say, neighbor, what in the world is wrong with me? What in the world is wrong with me? Tell them, say, you've been picked out to be picked on. You understand? Chosen from your mother's womb. It's not an accident. If folk don't like you, it's not an accident. And people, every time they get around you, and you think you got a friend, and they betray you, it ain't an accident. You understand why you can't? You walking on the eggshell sometimes. It ain't an accident. It's on purpose because I want you to walk alone. There's things that I want to deal with you. When I called Abraham, I called him alone, and I blessed him. When instead of me, you got to realize I'll let you get in a place, and I'll stir your mess. I don't never want you to get comfortable, because the prophet, apostle, ain't a chicken. They're an eagle. The eagles can't sit in a coop. They got to fly. You understand me? They perch on a mountain. They don't perch on a fence. They perch on a mountain because their wings are so big. Y'all don't care what I'm saying. And where they are, the turbulence, the air, the wind, it will otherwise kill a bird, kill a chicken, kill a pheasant. Y'all don't kill me. But the wind and the turbulence, literally the hard wind, what it does to an eagle because of what kind of bird it is. You understand? He don't fly from the wind. He flies to the wind. That's where the Wrights brothers got the architecture for the plane. They call the drag plus the pull. Y'all don't hear me? I said the drag plus the pull. You understand? Some folk don't want to drag, but the drag is going to cause the pull. You understand? So let me get up there with the wind. You understand? I need some drag in order to get some pulling. Y'all don't get it. You understand what I mean? So the eagle gets up there where the turbulence is. Because the harder the wind blows, the higher he flies. But watch this cold-blooded. A chicken flooded. And he ain't going nowhere. But if an eagle get in the right position, he don't even have to do a lot of flapping. His wings, y'all don't get it what I'm saying. Even like they sung a song, you're the wind beneath my wings. I don't even have to fly. All I got to do is spread my wings and just move them every now and then to go in whatever direction I want. Some of you don't even realize that God is taking you into a whole other level. And you set a meaner than a junkyard dog and don't know there was no accident. You understand? I raised you up. I made your brothers hate you, Joseph. I made them hate you because I know that I made a promise unto Jacob. I made a promise unto Abraham that I would bless you. I told Jacob I would give you plenty of corn and wine. I told Jacob I would bless you during the time of famine. So sometimes folk got to die, but others may live. Y'all don't get what I'm saying. So God can't lie. If he got to use you to keep from being alive, God can't lie. He told Jacob, I'm going to bless you at the time of famine. Y'all got to hear me. You mean, you nasty, and don't understand your purpose. You mean, you nasty. You don't even understand your ministry. How about you can't go to another level? How about you can't go to another place in God, Mama Sarah? How about you can't go to another place in God? Because you said a misunderstanding. You got to realize it ain't a devil thing. It ain't a people thing. It's a purpose thing. You understand? I made them hate you, Joseph. I want them to hate you. Because if they don't hate you, you'll stay in your father's house. And you can't stay in your father's house because you are the deliverer. You can't stay in your daddy's house because you're the one that's getting the great anointing. So I'm going to make your brothers hate you on purpose. You understand what I mean? I'm going to make them not like you. And then I'm going to give you a gift to make your mom and your daddy look at you crazy. Look at this young boy. You understand? Can you imagine? Why don't nobody like me? Why everybody against me? Why did my God, let me tell you something about it. After a while you go on and God will drop that revelation on you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm pushing you. Your trials are pushing you. I let them get mad. You understand? I let them get angry. Because see, if they wouldn't have got angry, I'd have been stuck right there with my dad. And I'd have never been fulfilled the ministry that God wanted me to be. So God let my brothers hate me. And they sold me into Egypt land. Now when I got down to Egypt land, they sold me to Potiphar. One official down in Egypt land. I had it made under the shade. I was had a 8 to 4 hour job, getting paid out the back door. Everything was smooth. I was getting relaxed. I was getting at ease and Zion. Woe be under them that are ease. God don't ever want you to be on the same level. God don't ever want you to stay on the same level. It's higher heights and deeper depths. I'll stir your nest as an eagle stirs his nest. So when I stir you, saith the Lord, I'm going to take you to another level. Joseph got down there in Egypt land at Potiphar's house, got comfortable like he was at his daddy's house. But God said, no, there's a purpose on your life. Point to yourself. Some of you tonight, I ain't talking to you because you ain't got no purpose. You might be destined to go to hell. But I'm saying to those, the 25% of them that know you can feel it deep down, but there's something else God given to do to you. You can feel it in your soul. Like God given to do something. You can feel it. It's really the vision that you have is the thing to keep you going. The vision that you have is the thing to keep you driving. The vision that you have is the thing to keep you praying, to keep you coming to church. In spite of all of the hell, there's something on the inside that I feel was given to take place. You understand what I mean? I wake up with the unction of the Holy Ghost because I feel like God is going to take me to another dimension. And that's the very thing that drives me. It's the dream, it's the vision. Y'all don't kill me what I'm saying. But Joseph got down to the Egypt land. Hallelujah, got comfortable in Potiphar's house. But God said, no, baby, this ain't where your ministry is supposed to be. So one day, Mr. Potiphar left, and a spirit of lust from the Lord come upon Potiphar's wife. They said, Joseph, I want you to make love to me. Joseph said, Miss Potiphar, I can't do it, Weaver. I can't do it, Miss Potiphar. I can't do it, Miss Potiphar. garment. She said, Joseph, come on. And she grabbed Joseph's garment. And Joseph ran out of his clothes. Y'all don't get it. So she's so embarrassed. She heard her. You understand me? So she don't tell a lie that the man raped her. Listen, the man ain't done nothing. He ain't did nothing but just sat there and done what was right. He didn't do nothing to nobody. He done what was right. He didn't do nothing to nobody. He done what was right. And God let the woman falsely accuse him. And when they came and arrested him and put him, you understand, in prison, please listen to him. They put him in prison. Y'all don't get him. He wasn't just in a regular prison. He was in the inner prison. He was on death row. The Bible said the man was in fetters and chains and irons. And the irons hurt the man until the time that his word came. He was in the inner prison. And while he was in the inner prison, something quickened in his spirit. And said, this can't be the devil. This is crazy, man. I believe this is God. This woman lied on him, put him in prison. Wait a minute. He done left his family, his daddy's house. He went to Egypt, he had it made, got sold out, and put him in prison in the dungeon. He was down in prison. Watch your neighbor and say, keep a right spirit. Keep a right spirit. It ain't over yet. It ain't over. It ain't over. It's only just beginning. It ain't over. Don't look at your enemy. Don't mess around. And you speak on your enemy, because your enemy is getting ready to be a blessing to you. I told you I'm going to make your enemy become your footstool. Y'all don't hear me what I'm saying. I'm going to let your enemy take you to another level. I'm going to let your enemy, don't speak against the tool that's going to make you and shape you and take you to the next dimension. But Joseph was in fetters and chains and iron. You got to be a bad man like Jesus. Y'all don't get it. Them two men was down in hell. And while they were in hell in prison, Joseph was in prison in chains. But you know what happened? While he was in prison in chains, the man kept the spirit of the Lord. While he was in chains, the man was prophesying. He was prophesying to the jailer, and the jailer gave him favor. Y'all don't hear about it. Was in chains. See what's wrong with some of us? We go through a trial and get bitter, and they're going to talk about folks that are lying on people. No, whatever you was going through when you went through the trial, keep the same attitude. Keep on. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Keep that same anointing. Keep that blessing. You understand me? I don't care what it is, because first of all, I'm dead and my life is hid with Christ in God. That means the devil can't touch me without God. Y'all don't care. The devil couldn't touch Job because God had a hedge around him. So if you're born again, let that day you know that I'm in the Father, and ye in me and I am in you. Well, how in the world can the devil come to you? He can't. And if he do come, you got to come according to the word. You got to come low in the volume of the book. We can't put no more upon you than you're able to bear. And whatever the devil do to you, according to the book, it's got to all work together for your good. So Joseph was down in there, and he knew that it's good that I've been afflicted, and I might learn thy statutes. Job, let me understand, Joseph knew, you understand that God knew here. I know my thoughts towards you, thoughts of peace, and not evil, that I may give unto you an expected end. Joseph knew what God did to the children of Israel. Y'all don't get what I'm saying. You got to listen to me. I'm going to show you how this man got down there in Egypt land. And guess what he did? He began to prophesy. Listen at me. Prophesy. And they come to Butler and the baker down there. Hallelujah. The kingdom put him in jail. This man was in jail, in bondage, falsely accused. Somebody that lied on you. Let a booger lie on you. Let a booger say something about you. You'll lose your cool. Ain't no prophesying no more. You damn and folk, you cursing for. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. But this man in feathers and chains and eyes with the anointing of God. Hallelujah, prophet. The baker had a dream. He had a pound in his head and the birds ate it up. But the butler had it from fresh grapes. Y'all don't hear it. I don't know it per se. But he had some fresh grapes. But when he got finished interpreting the dream, he told the butler, he told the baker, he said, see that pound in your head and the birds ate it up. The king gonna cut your head off. He told the butler, he said, but guess what? You gonna go back and serve the king again. He said, but when you go back, would you do something for me? Would you remember me? Would you tell the king about me? Watch this here. The butler went back 2 straight years. God wouldn't let the butler remember nothing. See, remember now, God don't done it one time. If he'd have got Joseph out of the dungeon at that time, he'd have only got Joseph. But when he waited 2 years till the king had a need, God will wait on. Listen, lift your hand and say, all of this hell has put me in position. Some of you can't see your future. You don't even know if you can see in a glimpse that God can just roll back curtain number 1 and let you see just a little bit of your future. You would tell God, forgive me for these nasty attitudes. You would tell God, forgive me for all these old spirits and not wanting to come to church. If we could just let you not curtain number 4, number 5, just curtain number 1. If we could just give you a sneak preview of your future and show you the anointing that I'm giving a place on your life, you would tell God, Lord, I didn't understand. Lord, forgive me for jumping the gun. Forgive me for these little nasty attitudes. Forgive me for letting this church agitate me, irritate me. God, from here on out, I'm giving to give you praise. I'm giving to give you glory. Lord, hear what I'm saying. I'm giving to magnify your holy name because I know your way is perfect. And whatever you do, God, you got a purpose to it. Well, guess what? I'm not going to get bitter. I'm not going to get angry. I'm giving to get glad. I'm giving to, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. I'm giving to start expecting a miracle. I'm giving to start expecting a blessing. See if what you did to them men in the days of old, if you did it for them, you're still doing it now. Because you're the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. You told me to consider old Job. Consider Job. Look what Job went through. But you told me to watch Job. Look what you've done to Job. You let the devil take everything from Job. You let his friends talk about him like a dog. They wouldn't even pray for him. They thought he had this like he was a contagious disease. His own wife, you understand me? Turned out to curse God and die. But then Job, this is what is written for me. But Job was cool. Job was cool. Job, you understand me? He cursed everything but God. I cursed the day that I was born. I cursed the womb that bare me. I cursed the past that I suffered. Y'all don't hear me? I cursed the moon to shine. I cursed the stars. God said, holy Job, you get too close to heaven, baby. Where were you when I sung the stars in the silver socket? Where were you when I put the sun in the silver in his fiery place? Where were you, Job, baby? Be careful, baby. Job said, listen. He said, forgive me. He said, listen, you know the way that I take. I went forward, but you weren't there. I went backwards, couldn't find you. I went to the left hand where you work. I went to the right hand, and you wasn't there. You hid yourself from me. He said, you know the way that I take. And when I'm trying, wait a minute, guess what? I'm not going to die. When I tried, I'm not going to hell. But when I get tried, I'm coming forth as pure gold. You might as well get yourself ready. I'm preaching to Darryl McCoy here. I'm telling Darryl McCoy, your living ain't in vain. Your suffering ain't in vain. Your tears ain't in vain. You understand me? Your labors ain't in vain. You understand me? Your heart ain't in vain. You got to understand God is looking at every tear that falls from your eyes. When you could have took matters in your own hand, you understand you went before God. He said, I got an angel that every time you cry, they'll swoop down and bottle up your tears and fly back to the throne and open up the bottle before God. And then your tears come up before God as a memorial. That's why Cornelius, he sent him an angel that said your prayers and your arms have come up before God. That's a memorial. There's some of y'all's tears and cries are getting ready to come up before God. You might as well get ready. Your giving ain't in vain. Your loving ain't in vain. Your labor's not in vain. Your crying is not in vain. Your forgiving is not in vain. Let them go, turn it loose. They couldn't have done it except God. Let them do it. If God didn't let them do it, you won't be the person you need to be. God got to let them lie on you. God got to let them talk about you. God got to let them betray you. You understand me? Because I'm looking for a soldier. I'm looking for somebody that can take a licking and keep on ticking. I'm looking for somebody that can operate under pressure. I'm looking for somebody that can preach with love when they talk about him like a dog, when they lie on you. I'm looking for somebody that can get placed to wrath, that can overcome evil with good. I'm looking for somebody that can agree with their adversary while they're in the way. I'm looking for somebody that will say, listen, he said, Lord, I ain't gonna lie, deliver me not over to the will of my enemy. They breathe out cruelty. They said some hurting things. I'm not gonna lie, I almost gave up. I would have fainted unless I believe to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. But they would say, wait, I say, say, wait upon the Lord. Guess what he's getting to do? He's going to strengthen your heart. Some of y'all getting to get the mind over the matter. You're going to get to the point you're going to be so strong you're going to make folk mad. You're going to get so strong they're going to be upset with you. They're going to be looking for you to break under the pressure. They're going to look for you to give up. They're going to look for you to quit. There's going to be a tiger in your tail. They're going to be looking for you to break. But some of y'all get ready to get back. You ain't going to give up. You ain't going to quit. I'm going to sing like I ain't never sung. I'm going to direct like I ain't never directed. I'm going to usher like I ain't never usher. I'm going to man in black like I ain't never made it. I'm going to play my guitar and my instrument like I ain't never played. I don't care what they say. Let us stand and I'm not working for man. I'm working as unto the Lord. Let us stay study to show yourself approved unto God. In other words, I'm telling you, study. Give attendance to make sure that you're approved in the eyes of God. I don't care what it is about man. I want to make sure that I please you, Lord. I want to make sure, God, that you look at me and say, well done. Let us stand and I did it under pressure. I preached under pressure. I gave under pressure. I gave when I lost my job. I didn't have nothing, Lord. Let us stand with a compensation check. But God, guess what? I still gave to you, Lord. I didn't back up under the pressure. I didn't give up, Lord. I'm going to give everything because I found out whatever I'm doing, I'm not doing it as unto man. I'm doing it as unto the Lord. He said, listen. He said, behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give to every man according as his work shall be. Y'all don't give me. I'm coming to bless you. But don't let no man see what y'all want. Don't let man take your crown. Don't let man excuse me. Don't let man back you up in the corner. Don't let man make you leave the church. Don't let man make you stop singing. Make you stop ushering. Make you stop giving. Ain't no man. I don't care if you put me out of church. I don't care if you don't let me pray. Let us tell me, I'll give it to get down to business. If I done messed up, I'm going to get it straight. If I done messed up, I'm going to get it straight. But you ain't going to stop me. Let us tell me, I'll give it a study to show myself approved. If you say something wrong, I'll give it to get on my knees. Because every man is right in his own eyes. And then maybe God, if they see something in me that I didn't see, or whatever it is, I ain't going to get angry. God shines a light from heaven. When they find anything that shouldn't be, take it out. Ain't no time to get bitter, Lord. I'm to the point of no return. I ain't got nowhere to go. I ain't got nowhere to go. There ain't no multiple choices. There ain't no option, Lord. I don't know where to go, Lord. I've been saved too long, Lord. I don't even know how to go to a club. I don't know how to go to the deck house. I don't know what to do no more. I'm in here, Lord, please. I can't turn around. I can't get a nasty attitude. I'm right here, Lord. I don't know what else to do. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. If I got to tell you I'm sorry. If I got to come to you on my hands and knees, whatever it's going to take for me to go to the next level. Because guess what? I'm trying to make heaven my home. And I don't want nothing in my heart. I don't want no bitterness. I don't want no unforgiveness. Why? Because it ain't you. It ain't you. It wasn't you. Joseph was in the dungeon. Guess what? He let the butler forget for 2 years. But after 2 years, the king had a dream. Couldn't nobody interpret it. When he was the butler was serving the king. He said, I had a dream. The magician, the prophets, can't nobody interpret it. He said, oh my God, there's a Hebrew in the dungeon and interpreted me and the butler's tree. He told us that you was going to kill the baker and you killed him and I was going to serve you again. And here I am. He said, go get him. This man was in the dungeon so long till his beard was so long. They had to shave his beard. They had to change his clothes. They had to take the chains off of him. Y'all better get ready. Hunt your neighbor and say, God give it to clean you up. God give it to clean you up. Let him hear me. Some of you in feathers and chains and eyes. Some of you messed up right now. Tore up from the floor up. But guess what God give it to you? When your time comes, keep a right attitude. God give it to unlock the chain. God give it to unlock the chain. God give it to clean you up. He was in feathers and chains and eyes until the time that his word came. Y'all don't hear me. And the king said, listen, Joseph, I had a dream about 7 lean cows coming up out of the river. And guess what? They was careful. But after a while, a darkness locusts came and these 7 wild cows came up and ate them up. And I don't know what it is. Joseph said 7 good cows, 7 years of plenty. And after that, there's going to be 7 years of famine. So what you do, store up during the 7 years of good time. You understand? Because the 7 years of famine, he looked at Joseph and said, ain't no wisdom like this. He said, David, let me tell you. He said, I want you to be second in command. You have been at Potiphar's house and learn how to be an accountant. Your trials are going to teach you. Every step of your trial is going to sharpen you for the next level. Everything you have ever been, any church you have been, whatever hurt you have ever had, is taking you to another level. It's to how you look at it. You can get better. You can sit around and talk about what a book has done to you for the rest of your life. If I tell you what somebody done, it's only a testimony to let you know, look at me now. Look at me now. Look what it did for me. It took me to another level. Look what it done for me. You know what your trials will teach you? It'll teach you how to fight. You know what your trials will do for you? It'll teach you how to wait. You know what your trials will do for you? It'll give you peace. It'll give you an expectation. Because you know that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared. You understand? With the glory that's given to be revealed. I'm trying to get it to close now. I want you to kill me today. I got you when folk don't like you. Punch your neighbor and say you're right where you need to be. I got you when folk are talking about you. You're right where you need to be. You know what I want you to be able to do? I want you to be able to be around a bunch of talkers, a bunch of lies, a bunch of backbiters. And I want to see, can you stay focused under pressure? I want to see, can you have a made up mind? Can you have a fixed up heart in the midst of your worst trial? You understand me? I'm going to hell breaking loose in your home. I'm going to hell breaking loose on your job. And you say, Lord, what in the world have I done? You ain't done nothing. You ain't done nothing. That's why I'm sending this hell to you so you can do something. You ain't done nothing. That's why I'm sending you through hell so you can do something. You understand me? You don't realize when you go through a trial that causes me to be able to give you an anointing. If you don't get sick, I can't give you healing. If you don't get down, I can't give you deliverance. You know, you understand me? If you don't get confusion, I can't give you peace. But if you go through the fire, I'm giving to equip you. I'm giving to give you something that you'll be able to be a deliverer. I don't just heal you so you can just be healed. I heal you so you can become a healer. I deliver you so you can become a deliverer. I make a way for you so you can make a way for others. When I consolate you, it ain't just to consolate you, it's so you can consolate others. I don't just comfort you, I comfort you so you can be a comfort to others. You understand what I mean? Must Jesus bear the cross of our minds, the cross of all, that all the world can go free. Now that there's a cross for everybody, and surely there's a cross for me. Now might as well get yourself ready. You understand it ain't an accident. All of the stuff you've been through from childhood to now. You understand? You've been chosen from your mother's womb. I selected you. I handpicked you. You look at the stuff that you have been through. You said, I've been molested, I've been raped, I've been abused, I've been misused. I set up and got a man. I thought that he loved me, but he dogged me out, treated me like a doormat. I'm set up here. I was the best little woman he could find. I was the best little man. I worked 2 jobs to make sure there was a and look at what I went through. But you don't understand. I got somebody in the future give me to take a pistol to their head and say, listen, I can't take it no longer. I want you to be able to go to them and let them know that life ain't over, that it's only just begun. The hell you're going through, God's going to give you a blessing in the message. He's going to give you a testimony out of your test. Y'all better look at me. You looking at me today, and you listen to me. I can tell you about bitterness. I can tell you about being angry. They don't do that to you. Gonna hurt you. But when I found out it wasn't my wife, when I found out it wasn't that preacher, when I found out it wasn't in church for, when I found out it wasn't the neighbors, it wasn't my family, you better hear me. When I found out it wasn't family members, when I found out that it wasn't family members, when I found out that I I was getting bitter. My stomach was hurt. Sister Beverly, blood was coming out my stool. I was messed up, preaching, but I was bitter. Running revivals, but I was bitter. Laying the hands on folk, but I was bitter. I was angry. Every time I heard the person's name, something would jump in me. All I got to do was just hear the name, and something would jump in me. Y'all don't kill me. I was going down. I was losing my anointing. I was getting sick in my body. But one day, I was walking through the road, and I was so angry, and God let me run across Genesis 45. And I saw Joseph, how they folk did him, how they messed him up, how they lied on him. Y'all better get ready. I got to preach up in here. Or some of you ain't got it yet. How they did him for nothing. They didn't like him for nothing. They hurt him for nothing. They talked about him for nothing. They accused him for nothing. But look at your neighbor and say, if you're a child of God, don't nothing happen for nothing. Anything that happens to you, there's got a purpose to it. There's got a reason for it. To everything, it's a time, it's a season, and a time for every purpose under the sun. God got a reason for your mess, y'all. When I read and I saw Joseph, how when Joseph saw his brothers, what they had done to him, I would have looked at him, being second in command, having all of that authority, could have told him, off with your head, burn him to the stake, let us then feed him to the lion. But Joseph, being full of the Holy Ghost, being full of the power, understanding the predestinated will of the Almighty God, he told him that it dogged him. He told him that it lied on him. He had told him that it mistreated him for no reason. He said, be not grieved with yourself. Don't be angry, because it wasn't you. It was God. You understand me? God sent me before you. Some of you, you're going through hell so you can come back and be a miracle and be a blessing to your brothers and sisters. Some of you are going through hell because God is sending you through the fire so you can come back and be a miracle worker, so you can be a deliverer. Y'all don't hear me. The greater the hell, the greater the heaven, the greater the struggle, the greater the victory, the greater the struggle, the suffering, the greater the glory, the greater the pain, the greater the pain. Y'all might as well get ready. The greater the darkness, the greater the light. God experience, when you get that experience that he's a healer, when you get that experience that he's a deliverer, when you get that experience he's a peacemaker, when you get that experience he'll make a way when there seems to be no way, when you get that experience he's a door opener, he'll open doors that no man can close, closed doors no man can open. Y'all better look get ready. God, give me the open doors. Y'all give me to see your miracles, your healing, your prosperity, your prosperity. God, give me the timing, get the right spirit. Tell God, forgive them. They know not what they do. Forgive them. They thought they were hurting me, but they were helping me. They thought they were hitting me, but they were pushing me. They thought they were killing me, but they were making me come alive. Come alive. Look at your neighbor, mama. Look at your neighbor. Tell your neighbor. Say that the princess of this world had known they never would have crucified my Lord and Savior. Look at your neighbor and say that the princess, not the devil, but the princess. You got folks that sons of the devil. You got people in the church. You got folk on your job. You got people in your neighborhood. If the princess of this world had known, they never would have talked about you. They never would have lied on you. But they didn't know they can't do nothing to us. They can only do something for us. So when you get that understanding, y'all don't hear me. I got to preach up in here. I got to let y'all know that God can return it in your favor. You better grab somebody by the hand and tell say, neighbor, you're living, you're giving, you're crying, you're sighing. It's not in vain. God got a miracle. Put your name on it. Your mothers will get ready. This is when God is going to take you to another level. You're going to spiral up with it. You're going to spiral up with it. They thought they had you. They thought it was over. But they took him to hell. They thought it was over. But he went to hell on a volunteer basis. I want to go to hell. I'm ready to go to hell. Because I know in hell there's getting to do something. There's some treasures in darkness. I get to see something. God told me through his word, I will not suffer my Holy One to see corruption. Neither will I leave his soul in hell. Let's try God. God can't lie. God ain't gonna leave you. God ain't gonna forsake you. Y'all better get ready. God ain't gonna leave you. God gonna pull you out of the hell in your home, out of the hell in your body, out of the hell in your say, can you forgive them now? Tell them, say, can you forgive them now? Tell them, say, can you forgive them now? After all of this now, can you do like you say? Father, over, forgive them, because they don't know. See, they don't know what I know. They think killing me is going to put me out of commission. Killing me is going to put me in commission. Killing me is going to get me started. Killing me is going to give me the keys. Killing me is going to... I feel that Holy Ghost. I feel that anointing. You might as well get ready. You better tell somebody it's only just begun. It ain't over till God says over. Tell your neighbor I'm getting on the start. They lied on me. I went through hell. They broke my heart. I lost my marriage. Get ready. It was the devil thing. It was the wife thing. It was the husband thing. It was a guy. Look at somebody say there was a guy. Tell somebody else. Tell them it was a guy. It was a God thing. It was a God thing. It was God that let him out. It was God that let him cut me. It was God that let me go to jail. It was God. Y'all better get ready, because I'm here today to let you know that God. I was trying you. I was testing you to see if you're ready for that great anointing, for that greater glory. Can I trust you with trouble? Can I trust you with trouble? Can I trust you with temptation? Can I trust you with a heartache? Can I trust you with loneliness? Can I trust you with betrayal? Can I trust you with a lie? Can I trust you? Forgive me. He said, I ain't did nothing. I'm just practicing. I'm practicing. I'm practicing. I'm getting ready to get free. I'm able to call the worst book in the world. Forgive me. Forgive me. Mother Barker, forgive me. Y'all better hear me. Forgive me. Wait a minute. See, when I ask them to forgive me, I get free from what you did to me. When I ask you to forgive me for what you did to me, I get free from what you did to me. Because if I don't ask you to forgive me for what you did to me, I'll still be stuck on what you did to me. And I know that it was God that did it to me. You don't grieve with yourself no anger because it wasn't you. Look at your neighbor and say, put your hand on your hip and say, so now. So now. Look at your neighbor, put your hand on the other hip and say, so now. So now. Put your hand on both of your hips and say, so now. So now. I'm not in the past and I ain't looking at what they did. I'm looking at the now, right now. So you looking at what happened in the ditch. You looking at what happened in the pit. When you sold me, you still stuck right there. You still stuck with what happened to me in the pit. You still stuck with you to cut up my little garment. Man, look at the little red coat, little coat of many colors you cut up. Do you see this tailor-made coat robe I'm wearing? These Egyptians have made from it, but I'm stitched from the head to the toe. I got monogram. You see my name? The other thing you see JJ. Y'all don't give me on intermittent, but partner, listen. I ain't thinking about that young man. Do you understand? That was then. This is now. That was then. This is now. Do you understand? You understand what happened then? That's what it caused me to be right now. If it wasn't for then, I wouldn't have the now. Y'all so set up in here, stuck in the pen, stuck in the pen. I ain't stuck in the pen. You know what I'm looking for? I'm looking forward to You're going to wonder why you so sweet. You used to just cook scrambled eggs, but now you're going to have scrambled eggs. Y'all don't hear me? Cheese, scrambled eggs, decorations. They're going to think they somewhere at the Commander's Palace somewhere. And you're going to come at the table with a towel over your arm and say, anything here. Let's hold it. Somebody said, I'm free?
I'm free.
So glad.
So glad I'm free.
Is anybody free?
I'm free.
Now, the only way to go get free now, in case something hits me. You got to put this when I'm saying the word.
Right.
You got to believe this.
Oh, yeah.
See, I can be a miserable, bitter, sick man today. But God opened up my eyes. Somebody said, I don't see how you can do it. I don't see how you can take it. I know this man got discernment. I know when you know folk don't lie. I know when you know people talk. I know when you know what this. I know when you know, but how's he do it? Because every move that anybody makes toward me, whether good or negative, it pushes me.
Come on.
If you give me $1,000, it's pushing me $1,000 in. If you take $1,000 from me, it's teaching me how to not get another 1,000 too. So see the way it go, I'm steady getting something. I'm getting something out the deal. Look at your neighbor and say, you owe them.
You owe them
To forgive them.
to forgive them.
See that bitterness? That bitterness can jumpstart and open doors for demons you've been trying to get delivered from. But just bitterness from a child. Bitterness. Something that you think you could let go. But you couldn't let it go because you couldn't see that it's part of your life.
Hallelujah, Jesus.
Stuff that happened to you. You couldn't understand it. You didn't see it, but you didn't see that bitterness, that unforgiveness. Why can't it just, why can't it be constantly like this? Why would I know I love God? Why would I know that we check that? Have you went deep down inside? When I know you're a loyal man, when I know you're a committed man, you've got your heart broken 15 million pieces. You let God put it back together. Or are you still thinking about how it got broken? If you're still thinking about how it got broken, and you'll never get it put back together. If you ever put a puzzle together, somebody can come and mess it up again. But out of your memory, of putting it together the first time, you'll put it together like that. So your heart been all broke up. But you caught the wisdom and let God put it back together. So now you get ready to see some folks with this same puzzle, all messed up. Your memory help them put their life back together. See what I'm preaching today? How you think I'm preaching this message? Because I was once out there with them.
Hallelujah, Jesus.
Preaching better. Prophesying better. Laying hands better. I couldn't prosper everything I put my hand to, like the bottom was falling out. And once I caught this wisdom, look at somebody say it catapulted me to the whole other level. See that there's a strength that you can get to make people angry with you. It'll make people hate you. Because what they've done didn't stop you. Because of what they said didn't hinder you. You've learned how to take a stumbling block and let it become a stepping stone. See that thing that was designed to cause you to stumble, you to position it, and you have stepped on that thing that they caused, that they were trying to make you stumble with, and you done jumped on top of it and took you to a whole other level. It's all about your attitude. You know what Satan doing right now? You're going back to the beginning. You know what got Adam and Eve? You know what got Adam and Eve You know what got Adam and Eve out of the garden? It wasn't adultery. It wasn't fornication. It wasn't homosexuality, lesbianism. It was an emotion. It was a bad attitude. We're going back to the beginning. And the devil right now, I'm trying to tell you, if you don't get these emotions right, you'll give him advantage. When we saw what he did to a person's emotion. He messed the emotions up. That's what the devil fighting you. And he'll get you right there at the door and make you what's designed to help you and bless you. Let you get the wrong attitude in all of the years you've put in and mess around and let an emotion. Moses, man, fasted 80 straight days and 40 days twice. No food, no water. This man got a visitation from God, was able to see God's hiding parts. Nobody else saw God. This man come down out of a mountain with the oracles of God, with the Ten Commandments. This man walked in a divine miracle. This man walked in a place with God. You got to listen to me. That Bible was written for your insight. This man took his rod and raised it up, and the Red Sea parted. This man took his rod and hit water, and it turned into blood. This man hit the dirt and it turned into lice. This man hit a rock and water came out of it. This man was so anointed that his brothers and sisters came up against him. He got smoked, both of them. But this man got right there to the crossover. Preached for 40 years about the land of promise. Preached for 40 years about a land that floweth with milk and honey. You better listen to me. Some of you right now, you so messed up and tore up right now, you ain't going to see what the devil trick you because you ain't drinking, you ain't smoking, you ain't clubbing, you ain't homongering. But I'll do something to you, I'll knock you down. This man wasn't doing none of that. Walking holy upright before God, he was so holy his face glowed. But he let a bunch of murmuring and complaining, fussing and cussing and doubting and rebellious people. He messed around and let them folk mess with his attitude. And God spoke to him and got right to another place where there wasn't no water. He said, God, what do I do? He said, I tell you what I want you to do. Take your rod with you, but I want you to speak to the rock. Wait till you get in front of him. Wait till you get in front of him. Speak to the rock, and I'll give you water. On his way, watch this. This is the man that God chose to take the children of Israel into the promised land. He got to the rock. On his way to the rock, he looked at them people and said, you bunch of rebels, must I fetch you water out of this rock? He took his rod. And this is when he'll get you. This is when it make you think you got away, preachers. He took his rod and he hit that rock. He hit that rock. He hit it twice. This is what's so called. God gave him water in abundance. He gave him water in abundance. So you know what that did to him? That made him think that he was right in a wrong situation. If he could have said, God, forgive me, his chances of getting into that promised land would have been just like that, because he knew that God was a merciful God. But God put him on lockdown. He gave him water out of a rock, so therefore he thought he was right when he was wrong. How many preachers think because they got houses and cars and money? How many church folk think because they got good jobs and building houses that they think they're all right? So when they do wrong, they won't repent. Moses never said he was sorry. God said, Moses, because you didn't, no adultery, no fornication, all he did was let them people mess with his attitude. Got right there. God said, Moses, I'm getting ready to close. This is it. He said, I want you to go get your brother, Aaron. And I want you to get his son, Eleazar. And I want you to get Joshua. He said, because you see that promised land over there? All you get to do now is see the earth. all you get to do now is see. But you won't get to go in. Right? He said, because you didn't sanctify me in the eyes of the people. You didn't commit adultery, you didn't fornicate, you didn't lie, you didn't do nothing. All you did was let the people make you better. All you did was let the people mess with your attitude. All you did was let them get to your attitude. And then an old cocky spirit come up on him. Here's when he done messed up. Well, who in the world going to take him over that end? What? What? Do you remember when you came up on the mountain the first and the second time? You did not come alone. You brought a minister with you by the name of Joshua. While I was speaking to you, he was listening. When I was writing on the tablets, he was looking. When I put you in the cleft of the rock, he was there. So everything you saw, he saw. Everything you heard, he heard. Joshua would take him into the promised land. Right there. 40 years of preaching a certain type of word and you missed the king. Not for adultery, not for fornication. Just because of your attitude. Just some racism. Some bitterness, some unforgiveness. You got some racist boogers, you got some boogers so mean and nasty. You can't get in. This is a one blood thing. Some of you in this place today. If he was to come right now, and then I can't say that because see, some of you don't think nothing wrong with you. You don't think nothing wrong. But you don't even think you got bitterness in you. You don't even think you got unforgiveness in you. You don't even realize you got nasty attitudes and spirits be upon you, make you fly off the handle, make you say things you ain't got no business saying. We can prophesy, we can jump all over the church and spin all around. No, you don't go to clubs no more. You don't have to. All I got to do is get something in your heart. And I'll take your soul to hell. Wives, all I got to do is get something in your heart. Husbands, parents, church folk, could have been a preacher that hurt you. Could have been a mother that hurt your father. Could have been a husband, could have been a wife. Could have been a sister or brother, auntie or cousin. But whoever it was, I let them in your life at such a time as this. And some of you in this building tonight, you will miss it. Wonder why you can't get out of a rut. Wonder why you can't get delivered. Wonder why you can't get set free. If you're in his place right tonight, some of you done gotten molested and raped and you still ain't let it go and wonder why your marriage can't go. Wonder why stuff can't go. You can't open up and tell nobody. That you can suppress this. All kind of little demons in our lives. Attitude messed up. Wonder why you so cocky. Wonder why you so abrasive. Wonder why can't nobody teach you nothing. Wonder why can't nobody say nothing. Why you so quick to run up out of the church, mean and nasty. Always got something to say. Always got an attitude. Every time you're around, you're the first person to just bail out. Why are you so easy to fly off the handle? I thought you could do all things through Christ. I thought you was more than a conqueror. I thought you was an overcomer. I thought you triumph always. I thought you were strong in the Lord and the power of his might. How come you so weak? Because you got something in your heart. You won't own up to it. You got something to make you steal, make you lie. You got something that won't even let you get healed. You got something that won't even let you get healed. You got something that I don't care who lay hands on, you can't even get a miracle. You got something on you, you can't even financially come out of a rut. You get money in your hand that look like the bottom, like you got a bag with a hole in it. You understand what I'm saying? And you sitting up here think it's your wife, but it could be your daddy. You think it's your husband, but it could be something your mama done. You think it's your preacher, but it could be something that a cousin done to you. It could be something that somebody done to you that you ain't let go. So now everybody got to be a suspect. Everybody got to be on edge. Please, Jesus. Please, Jesus. I'm tired of these things running in and out of my life. I'm tired of these seasonal demons. I'm tired of these every 3-month demons. I'm tired of these every 6-month demons. I'm tired of these once-a-year spirits and stuff coming up on me. And I can't help myself, and I go through these different changes. Look, every time this time of year, I got to go through something like a seasonal demon because he's coming back. You understand? He's going to leave for a season, so that means he's coming back at another season. And I'm tired of him just running up in my life. What is it that keeps him wake and get in? What is it that keeps him awake and keep walking in my life? Every time I get a ministry, every time I get started, he walks right in. Tears everything up. What is it? How come I can't get off the ground? 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 How come I can't get my life straight? How come something got me fighting? How come something got me scared? How come something got me always intimidated? How come something got me when I'm so leery that I call myself trusting with the people? They think that I trust them, but I really don't trust them. I got to love, but I really don't trust them because I got this thing and I'm just waiting any moment. It's end up like a time bomb. I'm just waiting on just something to fly off because you understand I've been hurt before, but I don't know how to let it go. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just waiting on them to hurt me. You know what I mean? And so I'm not letting my dukes down. But wait a minute, they done let their dukes down, but you can't let yours down because of something that you're holding. But you think you just holding something. Don't want them to get in, but you don't know how many things that entered into your life prior to that point. How many things that have walked in your life? How many things is in your life? How many things is it? You think I'm preaching. You think I'm just talking, right? I'm trying to tell you about a man with experience. They'll crawl up in your life multiple ones, multiple spirits. And you'll wake up one day out of total control. You'll wake up one day and you can't even handle yourself no more. You'll wake up one day and they'll make you take a gun and blow your brains out. Because you sit up and you won't deal with something you're holding. If you're in this building tonight, I ain't begging you. I'm tired of these demons driving me crazy. I'm tired of these seasonal spirits got my mind where I'm about to lose my mind. I'm sitting up here just unbalanced. I'm tired of these demons. I'm tired of these spirits. I'm tired of every time I look around. I'm tired. You're going to run to these altars. You're going to cry to God. Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, as I come before you tonight, everything that you done let it happen to me, it wasn't man, it wasn't the preacher, it wasn't the deacon. It was you trying to take me to another level. You didn't want me to get comfortable. You wanted me to go to another place, Lord. You wanted me to get a greater understanding of you. Father, right now I've been mean and mad and nasty. I've been vindictive. I've been trying to destroy people that I thought was trying to destroy me. Lord, I've been vindictive. I've been trying to hurt folk that I thought was trying to hurt me, Lord, but it wasn't them. It was you trying to take me to another level, Lord. God, when they would treat me, they would mistreat me, Lord. God, they would talk to me. They just did things to me, and I thought it was them, Lord. The Lord, I'm sitting around now with an attitude that didn't know it was you all the time trying to disconnect me to go to another level. Oh, God, today, Lord, please give me a right spirit because them are the ones that may need me one day, Lord. But you want to try me, you told me, God. You told me that you was going to bless me. And you told me my enemy was going to come to me, Lord. And you told me you expect me to bless my enemy, Lord. God, I want to be in a position that I have understanding, Lord. I'll be able to be like Jesus and say, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do, Lord. God, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they have done, Lord. God, they thought they were taking me out, but they were bringing me in. They thought they were taking me down, but they were bringing me up, Lord. They thought they would demote me, but they would promote me, Lord. Oh God, they thought they were killing me, they were making me come alive, Lord. Oh God, they thought they were dumbfounding me, Lord, but they were sharpening up my skills all the time, Lord. God, I thank you, Lord, for every trial, every tribulation, every heartache, Lord. I thank you for my enemy, Lord. I thank you today, Lord. God, for being out for my enemy. Thank God for Judas. Thank God for Delilah. Thank God for Potiphar's wife. Thank God for Joseph's brothers, Lord. God, thank God for Pharaoh, Lord. Thank God for Judas, Lord. If it wasn't for these enemies, Lord, God, we would never have what we have, Lord. We're saved because of an enemy, Lord. We're saved because of an enemy, Lord. Had not the enemy betrayed him, Lord, had not they killed him in Calvary, I never would have got saved, Lord. If it went for Judas, he never went to the cross. If it went for Judas, he never went to hell. If it went for Judas, he never rose with all power in heaven and earth. Give him him. Give God praise for your Judas. Thank God for your Judas. Tell God, God, help me to forgive them. They don't know what they're doing, Lord, but I know what they're doing today. I know today what they're doing. They're taking me to another level. Hell in my home, Lord, in my marriage, it's taking me to another level, Lord. God, help me to relax, Lord. You ain't going to skip me in a grave, Lord. God, I'm going to repeat it over and over until I get it, Lord. God, if I don't keep up, I'll give up, Lord. God, don't let me break under the pressure. Don't let me give up in the struggle, Lord. You better cry out. There's some of you giving up. There's some of you walking away. There's some of you got a made up mind that you ain't going to suffer no more. If you don't suffer no more, you saying, I don't want to be glorified. Cry out to God, help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. Help my marriage. Help my mind. Help my relationship in the church, Lord. God, give me a right spirit, Lord. God, I'm set up angry about something somebody else should do it for somebody else, Lord. You trying to moan and make them, Lord. And I done caught an attitude about what you trying to do. And I'm about to lose my soul because I'm misunderstanding your way, Lord. God, please, Lord, don't let me get in the way of your making, Lord. Don't let me interfere, Lord. Oh, with your molding, with your shaping. Don't let me get in the way, Lord. Jesus, Jesus. You better cry, young lady. Tell God, get that mess out of me. What my daddy done, what my mama done, what my uncle done, what my auntie done, what my sister done, what my next door neighbor done, what that preacher did. Get it on! Get it on! Get it on! Get it out. Get it out, God. I can't even prosper by it. I can't even prosper, Lord. Every time I look like I'm coming out of a hole, I go right back in it, Lord. Every time I think, Lord, you give me to bless me, Lord. Lord, the bottom falls out of everything. Lord, I'm checking, Lord. But I forgot to check that bitterness. I forgot to check that spirit of unforgiveness. I forgot, God, that people mention their name. Something jumps inside of me. With something jumping inside of you, woman, something jumping inside of you, man. You need to get delivered. You need to cry out to God. Tell God to get me where when they mention their name, don't nothing jump, Lord. Oh God, only thing that jump is my tongue to give you praise for me, to bless their holy name, Lord. Oh God, today, Lord, change my life, change my attitude. God, don't let me down, go to hell because of a bad attitude. God, I ain't drinking, I ain't smoking, I ain't cussing. I'm coming to church, but I got something in my heart. God, I go home, Lord. I hate that woman, I hate that man. Get it out. I come to church and look across the aisle. I despise that sister. I despise that brother. Get it out. God in heaven, Lord, I'm looking for a miracle tonight. Father, right now, Lord, God, I'm hating my father. I don't even know why I'm hating my mama, Lord. God, Lord, miss her. It is bleeding into my marriage. I'm messing. I'm causing my wife hell. I'm causing my husband hell. Jesus, I'm mistreating him. I'm mean, Jesus, and I know, Jesus. this off of me, Jesus. I don't trust because I didn't let that last woman go. I didn't let that last man go. Now I got a star. Now I got somebody that love me. I got somebody that I can't even trust them. Help me! Help me! I got that spin on him. I'm going to get you before you get me. Help me! Help me, Lord, please, Jesus, help me, please, please, Jesus, please. Please, preachers, cry out here. The devil will use you and let you preach and prophesy. But that bitterness and unforgiveness, it won't meet you today. It'll meet you in judgment because it's that subtle. It'll go on and on and on. And when you stand before God, He gonna bring it up. He gonna bring it up. Only the pure heart get deceived. He gonna bring it up, woman. He gonna bring it up, man. We gonna bring it up, young lady. He gonna bring it up. But you ain't got to bring it up. I'm gonna bring it up right now. I'm gonna bring it up right now, man. I'm gonna bring it up right now. I'm bringing this stuff up right now, Lord. Get this stuff up out of me right now, Lord. You ain't got to wait till judgment day. This is judgment day for me. This is judgment day for me, Lord. God, you sent a word today and found me, Lord. God, that light that been shined on me today, Lord. I'm coming clean today. Get this bitterness off of me. Get this unforgiving spirit off of me, Lord. Change my attitude. You ain't got to wait till the day of judgment. This is my day of judgment. I want it out. I want it out. I want it out. You want a ministry, young man. You want a ministry, young lady. But you don't want what it takes to get one. He learned obedience through the things that he suffered. The suffering produces the glory. Oh, Jesus. Come on, just reach up to me. Jesus. Jesus. Jesus.